Give me a second.
Don't you hate it when you finally get a man and you think that he's the one? He comes into your life, fucks it up, and then it's done. You're really fed up, but you're trying not to trip. Till he finds another girl and tags her name and everything. Also, you can see it and get jealous. I hate them type of niggas. They look out for themselves, never care about our feelings. I'm scared to fall in love, I don't know what that's about. I've been wondering
Shout out to
me and
Cutting
niggas like
Edge,
this
yo.
here to say
Shout out to
no.
Cutting
What's
Edge.
love supposed to hurt? Supposed to ease the pain, doesn't last in the rain, oh yeah. Will you let me when it's dark? Can we be real if it's all torn apart? What is real love? Love, love, love. What is real love? Love, what is real love? I wanna fuck with you, but you be on some other. Laid up with a bitch that used to fuck on all your brothers. These hoes ain't got no standards, and I thought that you were smarter. She really took you back after everything we said, huh? I need a man on the low. Soon as I tell him no, he's on the phone and out the door. Where you go? How can you be sorry if you don't know what you're sorry for? How can you be sorry if you don't know what you're sorry for? Where you at? You never get it, I'm stressing you like a marriage. Thought that he would stay, but he left, and I'm so embarrassed. What more is there to do when you've given all that you can? I only got one question. What is real love?
All right, y'all. Let me get this John started real quick. All right. Let me talk to y'all. Listen, it's gonna be an episode of thoughts straight from a shorty's head. All right, out of my chest onto the mic, and I'm just gonna put it out there, man. And I would love to hear what y'all gotta say. All right. It's a lot going on here in Philadelphia, right? Like, listen, we've been talking about Kada Scott. All right, I did 2 lives on her, and I didn't really want to, do another live until we got more updates on the case. All right, but in Philadelphia, right, in Germantown, that's near where I'm at, North Philadelphia, actually found her remains. Right, the remains found of Kate. Well, they say they're her remains. All right, let me rephrase this because now listen. Now listen. Now in a statement. All right, allegedly. All right, allegedly. All right, they're not sure if it's her remains or somebody else's remains. Police arrested Keon King for her kidnapping. The community is watching closely to see if justice will be served. All right, like, how can I say this? I'm not just putting out this out there just to put it out there. Right, I'm speaking for every woman who's tired of watching the system fumble when it's time to protect us. All right, Kata Scott, 23, went missing on October 4th after leaving her overnight shift at a nursing home. All right, her family never saw her again. Now, female remains were found in a shallow grave behind an abandoned school near Albury. All right, and it's crazy, right? That is where I think Albury. If y'all go look at the live that we did last time, right? Like, it was near Albury, Obertorium in Germantown, right? A spot that had already been searched. They searched that spot time after time, right? And it's crazy because I'm gonna do a live. It's already Sunday. I'm gonna do a live later on, right? And there's this YouTuber that put all the evidence together from social. Listen, I don't got time to do that. I can't sit here and search Facebook, search Instagram, and get all that together. I can't really do that right now. So I gotta give a shout out to that YouTuber. All right, I'm not sure if I'm going to review and react to two different YouTubers, which I might. All right, because it's crazy the stuff they're surfacing. All right, we're already 2 weeks in. Uh, This whole thing is really 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 crazy. Something's yo. What's up with my mouse? Something's not adding up. Like, listen, police got a very specific anonymous tip and it returned to the area. What they found, a fresh grave. All right. Scott's debit card and phone case were also recovered nearby. And, I was just saying that the last time, like, it was weird. Something's not adding up, yo, I'm telling you. But here's the part that, how can I say that twists the gut, all right? The remains haven't been formally identified yet. The medical examiner is still working, and the family is in a limbo. Meanwhile, Keon, 21, was arrested and charged with kidnapping. All right, he was the last person known to be connected with Kada. But the question still hangs. Will they charge him with murder? Will he walk? Because we've seen it before. A woman goes missing, evidence piles up, and somehow the system still finds a way to fumble the bag. All right, this man, they got evidence of this man. All right, kicking in, trying to kick in. I'm not sure if it was the window or the glass of the lady that he last kidnapped. All right, he sexually assaulted her in the car and let her go, and yet they let him walk. So let's be real. All right. No woman deserves to be unalive, discarded, or forgotten. And yet, here we are, waiting for confirmation, waiting for charges, waiting for justice. The way the police communicated early on was confusing. And it left the community scrambling for clarity. We had faith that she'd come home. We prayed, we posted, we searched. Well, I didn't search, they did. All right, so let me rephrase that. I gotta catch myself. I didn't search. I did two lives. All right, in the hopes that people will see the live and do what they gotta do. But shit, now we're left with silence and speculations. So if the system can't protect women like Kada, then what the hell is it doing? Oh shit, I forget. We're protecting a system that was never meant to carry our pain. All right. If you could find her debit card, her phone case, and a fresh grave, but still hesitate to confirm, still hesitate to charge, then maybe it's time we start, charging the system with negligence. All right. Like, I know that they're saying that the police is, putting in that hard work. The police, listen, between the police and the media and the news outlets, yo, it was a hell of a lot confused. A lot. It was so confused. Like, listen, this ain't just about one case. It's about every woman who goes missing, every family left in a limbo, every community forced to beg for justice. All right, we're watching, we're loud, and we're not letting this slide. Yo, when this all started, they said that the young woman went missing. All right, and they said that she did half of her shift. She was supposed to do a full shift that night, right, in this elderly, place. But going into the second week, right? They say that she was only, she only went into work, was there for 30 minutes, went outside and disappeared with the young man. All right. They say they didn't have no cameras, no witnesses, nobody saw nothing the first week. Then the second week, they start saying, they got this, they know about this. That's why when I did the last live, I'm like, how do y'all know about them texting if y'all don't have neither the phone or nothing, in your hands saying, this is happening? But hey, look, listen, I guess things happen for a reason. Um, Hopefully they let us know if the remains that they found, all right, today are hers or not. But this case is hella confusing. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It's a lot going on with this case, and I'm definitely going to do the live tomorrow. Tomorrow, later on today. But yeah, I wanted to put that out there. So if y'all haven't heard about, Kata Scott, make sure y'all go check out my last live. All right, and go do y'all research when it comes to her. It is a lot going on, man. Like even when you look at that D4 VD case, right? Like it's so many theories going around when it comes to that situation, and it's unfortunate that this is happening within our communities. Blessings, blessings, Bobby Joe. How you doing today? And it's crazy because now you got community members, right, talking about that the police could have done more in that search. And a lot of people were saying that she could have been in that area, but they said they searched it. They didn't find her, so she wasn't there. That's why, like, I feel as though, like I said the other day, right? Like, they got all these cameras, right? They got all this technology, but this technology doesn't seem to work when black and brown women go missing within our communities. Hmm. But man, with that being said, give me 1 second. I'll be right back because I want to, I wanted to put that out there, but I wanted to also hit on another topic. I'm not going to make this, a 2 hour live or nothing like that. But I wanted to speak about the silence that kills. All right. So give me 1 second, and now, I'm gonna break down to y'all why, I want to put that out there. All right, y'all. So, like I said, I wanted to put, I wanted to talk about something that I saw earlier, right? And I call it the silence that kills. All right, like all I can sit here and say is like, listen, I'm gonna start off like this. Blessings, blessings, Waba. How you doing this? How you? Yeah, this is morning. Shit, I'm tripping. Blessings, blessings. Welcome to the live, Waba. How you doing? Big shout out to Waba, guys. Make sure y'all go check him out. All right, great conversations, great topics. But yo, let me just give a shout out real quick to the young women who's brave enough to speak up. All right. That takes guts. All right. That takes pain. That takes power. Because let's be real, it's 2025 and we still got families treating sexual assault like a dirty little secret instead of the crime it is. All right. Still got mothers choosing silence over protection. Still got fathers doing the unthinkable and walking around. All right. Like they don't just destroy a soul. And for what? Shame, fear, reputation? Nah. That's cowardness dressed up as tradition, all right? Today I watched a video of a young woman laying it out. All right. What her father did to her, how her mother kept it quiet, and I felt that. All right. I felt the betrayal because a mother's job is to protect, not to preserve. All right. Like as a mother, you're supposed to protect your child, not preserve the image of a monster. A father's job is to nurture, not to violate. So let me say this loud. All right. If you sexually assaulted a child, a teenager, a minor, you don't deserve freedom. All right. You deserve redemption. What I mean by that is you deserve a casket. You don't, my bad, you don't deserve resumption, redemption. Woo! You deserve a casket. That's what I mean by that. Like, you don't deserve no redemption. Like I just fumbled my words right there, and I apologize for that. But like, listen, man, these mofo's deserve a casket, and if that makes people uncomfortable, good, because comfort is what kept this cycle alive. What keeps this cycle alive? What keeps it going? All right, we need to stop romanticizing. All right, family loyalty when it's built on silence and survival. We need to stop telling victims to forgive and move on when they'll still how can I say when they're still bleeding inside? We need to stop protecting predators just because they share our blood. All right, this ain't just how can I say this ain't just a shout out. All right, it's a call to arms. All right, it's how can I say to every survival, your voice is sacred. Your truth is power. To every enabler, your silence is violence. Your shame is complicity. All right, and we done tiptoeing. We're done whispering. We're done letting legacy be built on lies, yo. Like a mother's betrayal is the worst thing that a child could have. I could never understand it. All right, a mother who, how can I say it? A mother who don't protect her daughter, who lets the biological father, a stepfather, or some dusty boyfriend touch her child. That's not a mother. All right, that's a demon in disguise. Because how do you carry a child, raise her, feed her, braid her hair, and then turn around and let the man violate her? How do you hear her cry, see her shrink, feel her pull away, and still choose him over her? This young lady was telling me, you know what's crazy? I can really relate to this young lady because she wasn't telling me. Well, she was kind of telling me, right? Because she was speaking to her audience. She was speaking to the people that were watching her, right? But she was telling us how, her father would sit here and, watch her, observe her, make her feel uncomfortable. How he would, be there in the shower while she was in the shower, touching her, making her feel uncomfortable. And you know what's crazy? That shit just threw me back a little bit, right? Because her story is a similar story to mine's, right? I was just, way younger when these things were happening to me. And I don't think she was, we was probably around the same age when it started with her. And that's what's crazy. Like, you know what messes me up is the jealousy that the twisted belief that your daughter wants your man. Right? When I heard this young lady say that her mother was getting jealous, thinking that she was going to steal her dad away from her, like, like some of these moms are sick. Like, no, sis, your man wants your daughter, his daughter, and instead of protecting her, you protect him, and you call it love. I call it betrayal. Yo, women like that just makes me want to, like, yo, I'm telling you, like, I just want to grip women like that make their kids go through that shit, and I just want to pull them out of a screen and just smack this shit. And I'm telling you, man, like, you know what that does to a child? It teaches her that her pain is, how can I say, inconvenient, that her body is negotiable, that her safety is, is second to a man's ego. And then we wonder why she grows up with trust issues, rage, silence, survival instincts sharper than steel. Because the one person who was supposed to shield her handed her over. Let me be clear, all right? If you know a child is being assaulted and you do nothing, you're just as guilty as the motherfucking predator. You don't get to cry at a funeral. You don't get to post justice for my baby. You don't get to play victim. All right. When you were the accomplice, this isn't a roast. This is reckoning because too many of us grew up in homes where secrets were sacred and silence was survival. Come on, man. But we're done surviving. We're speaking. We're naming names and we're breaking cycles. All right. And if that makes people uncomfortable, good. Because listen, comfort is what kept this sickness alive. All right. Comfort is what got these petties walking around thinking they could do the unthinkable to these kids and get away with it. A father sexually assaulting his daughter is committing not just, how can I say, you know, a grape against a mind you watched while you shower, while you dress, while you eat, all right, to feel like your body ain't yours, to feel unsafe in your own home, to feel like you can't talk anymore. That kind of pain don't just fade, it lingers, all right? It lingers in the shadows, and that's one hell of a darkness that can't nobody explains, all right? It shapes how you walk, how you trust, how you love, how you breathe. But here's the truth. With the right help, with the right help, you can fight that demon. You can reclaim your voice. You can wear your crown properly, not tilted in shame, not buried in silence, but bold, upright, and blazing with truth, all right? Because survivors ain't weak. We're warriors. We're architects of legacy. We turn pain into power, silence into strategy, and trauma into truth. And to every mother who chose a man over her child, you didn't just fail, you betrayed. All right? You betrayed everyone around you, including your child. But your child, she's rising, she's speaking, she's building a movement that outlives your silence. All right? It's too many family members out here keeping it quiet. All right? Like, once again, I can never ever respect a grown woman or a grown man, all right, that sexually assaults a child or watches it. All right? Like, I don't get tired of it since I'm not done, and I don't even think I got the book on here. Like, I think I got my book over here somewhere. It's somewhere over here. All right? Because I've read it a few times, but I'm not trying to hit chapter 3 yet. So let me see. Is this it? Let's see. It's not it. I got so many books. Shit. All right. And I'm not just speaking to speak. All right. Look, listen. I want y'all to listen to this. All right. I'm going to read y'all. And I don't mind reading it over and over again. All right. Because I can't read what I'm working on right now because I'm still working on chapter 3. But I'm going to read y'all, first chapter and half of the second chapter. All right. Listen, this is my story. All right. And what's crazy is, right, this is why I say I could relate. All right. And the reason I say I could relate is because, listen, and when I read this to y'all, y'all going to understand. All right. This is chapter one, page one, inked in silence. I didn't come into this world soft. Billy raised me loud, layered and unfiltered. Before the mic, before the movement, before they called me an advocate, I was a girl dodging systems built to erase girls like me. Girls who survive, alright, who fight, who refuse to fall. We all have a past. Mine's dark, like the shadows little girls walk through trying to reach the light. I grew up in a house where silence was survival, but my spirit, it refused to whisper. It screamed in sketches, in side eyes, in scars. The pain is a story. This pain, how can I say? The pain is a story tattooed on my skin. Every mark, every memory, every movement. I didn't break. They saw attitude. I was building armor. They saw defiance. I was defending my name. They saw a girl too loud, too raw, too much, but I was just enough to start a fire. This chapter isn't about the spotlight. It's about the silence that shaped me. The fight before the platform, the ink before the image, the girl before the legacy. All right. Chapter 1, page 2. Questions in the dark. As a child, I asked questions no one wanted to answer. Why is this happening to me? Why does love feel like fear? Why does the person who's supposed to protect me call me a liar instead? I didn't understand the world. I didn't understand the world I was born into. I just knew something was wrong. While he kept hurting me, I kept asking, trying to make sense of the silence, trying to believe that someone would listen, but she didn't. She called me crazy. She chose him. And it's unfortunate, right? When there are families like that, and this was this was back in the mid 90s, early 2000s. All right, so imagine now these kids going through this. I feel bad. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I didn't understand the world I was born into. I just saw, I just knew something was wrong. While he kept hurting me, I kept asking, trying to make sense of the silence, trying to believe that someone would listen, but she didn't. She called me crazy. She chose him. And that choice, it curved, it carved something deep into me. Anger, pain, distrust. I started lashing out. Not because I was wild, but because I was wounded, because the truth was too heavy to carry alone. Because when you scream and no one hears you, you learn to roar. I didn't know then. I didn't know then that my questions were seeds. That one day they grow they that one day that they grow into the truth, into truth telling, into advocacy, into fire. But back then, I was just a little girl in the dark, asking why love felt like betrayal and why silence felt like punishment. Chapter 1, page 3. The lie that broke me. As a child, I lived in contradiction. My mom told me no one should ever touch me in my private parts. She said if someone made me uncomfortable, I should tell her. So I did. I told her. Even when he said no one would believe me, not even her. Even when he said I'd be punished for speaking, I still spoke. And in that moment, his words felt true because she didn't believe me. She looked she looked me in my face. She looked me in the face and called me a liar. Said it couldn't be true. That man loved us. Said I was making it up. Said there would be consequences. I was hurt, confused, betrayed. Why tell me to speak if my truth was too ugly to hear? Why teach me to trust her, then punish me for doing it? I didn't know who else to go to. Would they believe me? Would they call me crazy? Would they protect him like she did? So I went quiet, but silence didn't mean peace. It meant rage. It meant lashing out. It meant trying to scream through my actions because my words have been denied. I thought maybe if I acted out, they finally listened, but they didn't. They didn't hear the pain behind the punch. They just saw a girl acting up, never asked why, never looked deeper. Chapter 1, page 4. Screaming in the shadows. Lashing out only made things worse. They saw defiance. They missed the wound. How do you speak when you think no one will listen? I cried in silence for years. The abuse started before I even knew what school. Before I even knew. My bad. The abuse started before I even knew what school was. Before I could spell danger, I was living in it. I went from a happy little girl to one who lurked in shadows, watching every man like he might be the next monster, because the first one wore a mask of love, because the first one was chosen by my mother. I was dying on the inside, but on the outside, I was loud. I was angry. I was pushing people away, not because I didn't want love, but because I didn't trust it. The pain inside me opened a wound that couldn't heal, a wound that bled into every relationship, every classroom, every moment I was supposed to be normal. I had a real life Freddy Krueger, not just in my dreams, but in my shadows. He haunted my silence. He twisted my trust. And every time I tried to scream, the world told me to whisper. Chapter 1, page 5. The mask, the silence, the shift. After a while, the silence became normal, not safe, just familiar. I stopped expecting rescue. I stopped expecting truth. I started building walls instead of bridges because every time I reached out, I got burned. I used to think something was wrong with me, that maybe I deserved it, that maybe I was broken, but deep down, I knew I was just a little girl trying to survive a nightmare. They saw attitude, they saw rebellion, but they never saw the little girl behind the mask, the one scared, the one sacred, the one scared, my bad, scared and screaming for help in every way she knew how. I wore defiance like armor, all right? I sharpened my tongue like a blade because if they wouldn't hear my truth, they would feel my pain. Chapter 1, page 6. Not Elm Street, but Philly. Just so they would listen, I tried everything: pills, windows, blades. I wasn't trying to die, I was trying to be heard. But every time I spoke, here came the consequences. My mom first, then the family. Some people said they believed, but I didn't trust it. I thought they were playing me too, just like she did. So I built a shield, thick, heavy, cold. I thought maybe if I didn't exist, things would be better, but they got worse. Why am I still here? If I do right, they take my innocence. If I do wrong, they label me a menace. As a kid going through this kind of trauma is more than hard. It's hell. Being made a woman ahead of time against your will with no one to turn to isn't just a nightmare. It's a real life horror. Not on Elm Street, but in Philly, in my house, in my skin. Chapter 1, page 7. The captain of my ship. If you want to understand my story, how I overcame the abuse, the betrayal, the obstacles, you have to start at the beginning. And the beginning is dark, so pay attention. Because the man who hurt me still walks these streets. He has no control over me now, but I pray he never touches another child. I pray no one else has to live this nightmare. I fought through days so dark they swallowed my light. I clawed my way through silence, through shame, through screams that no one wanted to hear. And yes, I've overcame, but don't get it twisted. I still get nightmares. I still feel the echoes. Healing isn't forgetting, it's reclaiming. Okay? Now, I'm the captain of my ship. My thoughts, my emotions, my story. I'm older now, wiser, louder. But back then it was like this. Chapter 1, page 8. The door to the dark. Back then, I didn't know how to reclaim anything. I didn't even know what reclaiming meant. I was just a child trying to survive a monster with no mask, a real life Freddy Krueger, not in my dreams, but in my room, in my mornings, in my silence. There was no escape, no safe space, no pause. My bad. There was no escape, no safe space, no pause button, just a cycle. All right? Sleep, wake, fear, and repeat. And when you live like that, you don't learn to heal. You learn to hide, to perform, to protect. All right? To protect yourself from the truth because the truth is too heavy to carry alone. This was the storm, the silence, the scream, the part of my story that shaped everything after that shaped everything after. And if you really want to understand me, not just the woman I am now, but the girl I was then, you need to walk through that door. Chapter 2, page 1. This is the book I'm working on, Waba. I'm only reading a chapter and a half, all right? And I always do this so when I speak on stories like this so that people can understand, look, listen, I can relate, I understand, and we can overcome this. And it's crazy that it's unfortunate that a lot of us, whether we women or men, have had to face this type of trauma as a child. All right. Chapter 2, page 1. The night the door closed. I was only 4 when my mother introduced me and my 2 little brothers to the man she was going to marry, the man who will ruin our lives forever. Weeks, maybe months after she, moved him in, everything changed. The air felt different, the house felt colder, and I felt watched. He stared at me funny, too long, too close. My mom was working heavy back then, so she leave us alone with him, a man who made my little brother nervous and my baby brother too young to understand. The first red flag, he kept trying to separate us two. He kept trying to separate us, two siblings who were always together, now in separate rooms when mom wasn't around. But we were young, too young to put words to the wrongness. He hugged me too much, stared at me too long, and I started feeling something I couldn't name yet, unsafe. Then I turned 5. My mom threw a party. Adults were drinking, kids were playing, and that night she had to go to work. That night was the beginning of my nightmares. That night my protector was gone, and the monster was just getting started. Chapter 2, page 2, the first night. That night Freddy Krueger wasn't in my dreams. He was in my room, the one I shared with my brother. He pulled me out of bed into his arms and took me into the room he shared with my mother. He laid me on the bed. I sat up fast, heart pounding, looking around for my mom, but she wasn't there. He touched my neck, then my face, then slowly moved down to my chest. My body was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I told him to leave me alone. I said I'd tell my mom. He laughed, said she wouldn't believe me, said this was our secret, just between me and him. I wanted to run, and I did, but he pushed me back onto the bed, said I was going to do whatever he told me, or there would be consequences. He told me to touch him, put himself in my face, told me he told me what he wanted me to do. I kicked, I pushed, I ran. I woke my brother up. He came in. Freddie told him to Freddie told him to go back to sleep, then grabbed me again, took me back into his room, threatened me. I was scared, so I went back into my room, back into silence, back into survival. Chapter 2, page 3, the first betrayal. The next morning, when my mom came home, the next morning when my mom came home from work, I tried to tell her. She said, "We'll talk later." Later came, she was still busy. All day, I had to deal with his stares, the kind that made my skin crawl. He started complaining about my brother, said he was a troublemaker, never listens, but in reality, my brother was just trying to protect me. The next day, I caught my mom alone, tried again, told her what happened that night. She looked at me and asked, "Are you sure?" I said yes. She called him in, told me to repeat in front of him, and I did. He denied everything, made up a story, and she believed him. She said this man cared for us, loved us, did everything for us. I looked at her, pain in my chest, confusion in my head. Really, Mom? I went to my room, sat in silence, wondering why she told me to speak. if she was if she wasn't going to believe me. Minutes later, he walked past my door and said, instead in Spanish, "Te lo dije, I told you so." And all I could think was, who can I talk to? Will everyone believe him like she did? Blessings, blessings, Cuban crisis. Chapter 2, page 4, 2 weeks before first grade. All of this happened the summer before I started first grade. 2 weeks before school, 2 weeks before I was supposed to be learning ABCs and making friends. Instead, I was trying to survive a grown man who looked at me like prey. I could never understand it. What turns a grown man on by looking at a little girl? Even now, I still don't get it. Why would a man pull himself out in front of a child, tell her to touch it, put it in her mouth? I was lost, confused, and scared. 2 weeks after he did that, 2 weeks after he did what he did on my birthday, he tried again. But this time, I wasn't the only one who paid the price. My brother did too. All because he helped me. We were close, always there for each other. And when he hurt both of us, something snapped. I got tired of being scared, tired of being silent, tired of watching the people I love get hurt. I knew my mom wouldn't listen. She already shown me that. So who could I talk to? Who would believe me when the person who hurt me was the same one she loved? Chapter 2, page 5. He came for me again. It was a regular morning, school day. Mom wasn't home. I was dressed, ready, waiting for the bus. My brother was still upstairs. I went downstairs alone, turned on the TV. Face was on. Nick Jr., my favorite show. My favorite show was about to come on, Little Bear. This shit is crazy how memories come back. Little Bear was my shit, yo. I loved that show. It made me feel calm, safe, like I could just be a kid for a minute. And it really did. Then I felt it, a hand on my neck. I turned around fast and smacked it. It was him, Freddy Krueger. Not the one from TV, the one in my house. He told me to shh, to be quiet. I backed up. He stepped closer, touched my face, then my chest, looked me dead in my eyes, and said, "You're getting older." I was 5.5 going on 6, whose body was just starting to develop little breasts. I told him to leave me alone, but he didn't care. He never cared. He didn't care that I was a child, didn't care that I was scared, didn't care that I wasn't alone. He saw me as something to take, to control, to silence, and that morning he came for me again. Chapter 2, page 6. You didn't break me. Let me be clear. I was 5 years old when a grown man decided to steal my peace. A man my mother trusted, a man who walked into our lives and turned our home into a war zone. He didn't wear a mask. He didn't hide in the shadows. He stared me down in daylight, touched me when no one was looking, and dared me to speak. And when I did, he lied. She believed him, and I was left holding the truth like a ticking bomb. This man, this predator, this real life Freddy Krueger didn't just come from me. He came from my brother. He tried to break the bond we had, tried to silence the only person who ever tried to protect me. He thought we were weak. He thought we were small. He thought we'd stay quiet. But here I am, writing every page with fire, right? Calling him out with no fear because I am not that little girl anymore. I'm the storm he didn't see coming. I'm the voice he tried to erase. I'm the legacy he'll never own. To every survivor reading this, I see you, I feel you, and I need you to know no matter what they did, no matter how deep they cut, you can fight, you can heal, you can rise. We are not what they did to us. We are what we choose to become after. We are what we choose to become after. And me, I choose to become the movement. All right, guys. So, like I said, I'm not going to read everything. I'm still working on chapter 3. So, Is y'all able to hear me? Can y'all hear me now? But like I was saying, yeah, man, I'm reading this from my subscribers, man. I appreciate all of the support that y'all giving me, all right? And I'm not sure when I'm gonna be done with this book because in this book I will be writing everything that happened to me, and I mean detail. I'm not gonna go detail by details, all right? Like it's gonna be a lot of details there, all right? This is just the beginning of everything, all right? That first chapter, that second chapter, all right? That is just the beginning of everything, all right? Because things get deeper after that, all right? So I yo, I don't know what's up with my mic, yo. Like, is it YouTube? Like, why is y'all with my mic right now, man? But yeah, like I was saying, man, like, I appreciate my subscribers. So little by little, I will be giving y'all, a little bit of the book. Um, I'll let y'all know when I, completely, finish publishing it and stuff like that. Cause I'm still working on it. But I appreciate y'all. So this is one way of showing support, and not just to my subscribers, but to the survivors out there. All right, because I know, there's a lot of people that go through a lot of stuff, and sometimes it's hard. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Um, Going through these type of traumas, right? It is not easy. So I really feel bad. I really, really feel bad for the young lady that I was listening to earlier, right? Because to have a mother that doesn't back you up, doesn't understand you, doesn't believe you after she tells you to come to her, right? When you feel uncomfortable, when somebody does something to you, as a mother, you're supposed to be a nurturer, a protector. And what's even harsher is that, the mother is protecting the father, a biological father who looks at at his daughter like a grown woman that's sick, really sick in the like. We got some sick people out here. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. All right, we really got some sick people out here. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to put that out there, guys. If y'all want, if y'all want to say something, give an input, y'all more than welcome to. Let a shorty know. All right. I gotta sit here and admit that I've, how can I say it? I gotta say thank you to those that have been around me. Because if it wasn't for them reaching out and try to grab me from, grab my hand and prevent me from doing the dumb shit that I was doing because I was lashing out, all right, and they helped me turn me into the woman that I am today. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. So I gotta give a shout out to my elders, those that were there for me, those that taught me how to be a real woman. All right, because if not, listen, I'll be one of those females on these apps right now, bleeding all over the matrix. All right, hurting people, cutting people that never hurt me to begin with. Real shit. That's how it be. So that's why I just wanted to come on here real quick and just put that out there because I understand. Like, and what's crazy is right, just the other day, I was listening to somebody, right, and I did a live about it, and there was this young man that was telling, teens and kids, right, to not tell their parents what their dreams are, right, to not overshare with their parents because their parents are going to tear them down, break them down, all right, and not let them accomplish their dreams. But that's not completely true. You see where I'm coming from? It's unfortunately that this young man, was going through what he was going through in his household. But that doesn't mean that every parent out here isn't going to rear their child. All right. Like there's a lot of parents out here that do rear their child, all right, and they help them accomplish their dreams, become who they want to become, all right. So it's unfortunate that we got people out here trying to spread that type of message. You should never ever stop oversharing with your parents, especially if you got parents out here that are supporting you. Man, this is why I listens to my kids. I talks to my kid. I give them advice because if I don't, someone else is going to give it to them, and they're going to listen to that person and say, "Hey, my mom wasn't there. My mom ain't do nothing." You see?
Chat, what y'all up to? What's up, Billy, baby? I ain't gonna be long for this, y'all. I've been waiting an hour already talking. You're gonna listen to this little bit of music, then I'm gonna end the live. What time I allowed to play? They're not gonna cut me off or nothing, so we can listen to some music now. I gotta see what other songs I can add to this little playlist. At least they got some of my favorite artists on this genre, yo. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Look, see. Come on, look right here. Who is
Himself, he's selfish. Oh yeah, he always mine, he can't help it. Best believe I'm picking up the pieces. Supply that kind of love that haven't leave your species. Other niggas don't appreciate shit. Run from commitment, but be in relations. You feel entitled, so you stick with basics. He didn't see. I see. Be in action.
Oh, I want to find a song from last week. Y'all not gonna have my song on there as well. No, I'm gonna have to pay for it. I'm not paying shit. Eh, I got a lot of English music. I need to find some Spanish songs to mix this playlist up. So I got a few of them. Let's see. No, Wasa Wasa's not all the way. Let me see. Girla. Is this the right one?
Ajá, doble impacto. Bienvenidos al
Hmm.
motherfucking remix. Ya llegó tu favorito, mami. ¿Dónde están las girlas? Las que perrean sin compromiso y sandunguean. Es el momento, dale pa'l piso. Te pegas, pegas. Me gusta cómo te mueves. Te pega, pega. Con ese flow yo quiero que tú seas mi girla. Lo traje para ti, mami, solo para ti. Al ritmo vamos a perrear.
It's all this.
Vamos a sandunguear. Girla, lo traje para ti, mami, solo
El mojón.
para ti. Vamos a perrear, vamos a sandunguear. Juntos en la pista vamos a
This is not what I call reggaeton.
bien loca conmigo. No está soltera,
I just want to pay $190. What?
y prefiere lo prohibido. Dice que como yo nadie se lo
Man, I'm
motiva.
not even
No
one
toma
press
mucho,
play.
ella prefiere
$500 for that track?
Pablo de
Y'all
rosa, ya la
tripping.
cierro la en flores. Se trajo el tusi y pastillitas de colores. En la cartera hay billetes y condones con la plástica. Es una maniática, perreo automática. Y se pone sádica, mi girl. Está rica, me encanta mi lírica. En la cama elástica, no se pone plástica, mi girl. Girl, la traje para.
See. Okay. Whoa. That one I can't. Y'all gonna mess with me. Y'all gonna stop my live if I listen to that one, aren't y'all? Yup. Y'all messing with me. Like, what's up with y'all? I don't even know who half of these are. This is not Looney Tunes y Noriega. That's not Alexis y Fido either. Y'all know who Looney Tunes y Noriega is? What the fuck is this? Yagi Magi? Let me see. What is going on? Oh no, y'all tripping. Let me see. Let me see what do they got. I'm about to let my cousins play. Yo, shout out to my cousins, yo. Let me see. Is this a song that I liked from them, man? Shout out to El Boique y El Gelme. I was trying to play some BB Queen though. Like, what's up with y'all?
Esa nena lo que quiere que le den presión y que la lleven en un viaje, irse lejos y le den duro, esa es su intención. Bro, la gatita de calle y hace que te eleven un trance. Es que como ella no hay nadie. Ella quema a la hora de bailar. Ella te quema a la hora de sudar. Y ella se luce su cuerpo escultural. Y ella lo que pide que su gato ella le dé.
Beba quiere un ñaki, quiere que yo sea su papi, que la lleve y la vivilia, que eso es inolvidable. Y yo, que estoy bien loco por probarla, velando la guira pa' pillarla. Y así sube el dembow pa' que retumbe, que con esta pendeja vamos a hacer que esto se inunde. Y yo voy a hacer que tú te enfoques guayándote slow. No me asustes.
Ella quema a la hora de bailar.
I got my song right here. This right here. They really got my song on this song. Let me see it. Why glitching on me right now? Oh, Candyman is live. Candyman. SBK is still live. Okay.
no se aparta de mí. Dice que soy pa' ella,
Y
que se la pasa
en mí.
pensando en mí. Y si supiera que yo también se la pasa velando a que no desaparezca. Me tiene en una esquina amarrado, no me suelta. Envuelta conmigo, lo que me pide llega. Que termino jugueado, que ya va ella y que apuesta conmigo. Y me susurra, déjate llevar, que yo voy a ser suyo como de lugar. Y de que la caliente y que no le pare de dar.
Hey, 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 hey.
Y si se va, te juro que me amarro. Con su mirada atenta sé que anda buscando algo. Ya se olvidó la farsa, no me importa lo que digan. Experta en bella que una diabla. Dicen que es un huracán y que te lleva. Que como el fuego quema, te deja.
Shout out to my cousins, yo.
Quiero ver qué tiene ahí para ver si me lo da, para ver qué va a pasar más. Ya deja de presumir que dicen que eres loca, que conmigo tú te vas ya. Quiero ver qué tiene ahí para ver si me lo da, para ver qué va a pasar más. Ya deja de presumir que dicen que eres loca, que conmigo tú te vas ya.
¿Qué tiene ahí para ver si no es feca? Que está como dicen, muy por encima me va a ver si me lo das, controla con mi completa. Pa' irnos pa' la jaula y romper la dieta. Entonces dale mamacita y no te quites. Suelta el material, la vas a dártelo y te fuiste. Y si nos vemos mañana nos tiramos el de quite. No quiero compromiso, solo sexo es lo que pide. Pídeme todo lo que quieras, que te lo voy a dar a la manera de nosotros y la vamos a matar. Dicen que eres atrevida y que te gusta cachapear. Pues invítate a tu amiga que el party ya va a empezar.
Quiero ver qué tiene ahí para ver si me lo da, para ver qué va a pasar más. Ya deja de presumir que dicen que eres loca, que conmigo tú te vas ya. Quiero ver qué tiene ahí para ver si me lo da, para ver qué va a pasar más. Ya deja de presumir que dicen que eres loca, que conmigo tú te vas ya.
Déjame ver qué tiene ahí, que estamos los dos solos. Quítate lo que estamos aquí, la noche está para nosotros. Y si quieres sin gorrito no hay ningún problema. Se está encendiendo el party, calientito, mojadito junto hasta la madrugada. La noche está para nosotros. Y si tu cuerpo siente el ritmo que te quema, yo tengo el sazón que se te mete por la pena. Y yo que soy un lobo más bajo la luna llena. Ven que voy a darte lo tuyo.
Por ahí se dice que tú eres como que loki, que te gusta toda esta pende, que te gusta el popi. También
Oye,
se dice que te
¿cómo?
gusta cachapear,
Holy
prender
shit.
y fumar, pencar y rapar más. De mí te digo.
Llevo tiempo esperando a ver si se decide ya, si se tira la misión. que te gustan.
El boique, el maestro, asiste el maestro desde la nueva escuela de music academy.
So I wonder if I play this, will they give me a copyright strike? I hope not. I mean, not a strike. Because the last time I got, they said I violated community guidelines. Daddy, it's for you.
Landlords care about credit checks as
I literally sang this shit to him. Now y'all been letting me play Tink songs, alright? I be nervous sometimes, shit. Y'all don't understand. Cause you two wanna mess with you. But this my shit right here. Shout out to Tink. That shit deep. It's like my favorite drug. It's real deep right there. So like a pit. Mm-hmm. That shit is deep. Cause they slam is just like the favorite drug. I love listening to things. I'm gonna go watch Candyman and The Answer at the same time. I'm gonna put one on the phone and one on the laptop. Definitely about to go watch
but
them.
I'm not sure what changed. Better off playing with some other bitch. Niggas be so counterfeit. All of that begging and crying you did just to put me through this shit. You could have left me alone. Left me alone. You could have left me alone. It's been 40 days since you've heard from me. It's been 40 nights since I've been asleep. 40 things going through my mind. I've heard 40 lies 40 different times.
gonna make me
bitches
shit
can't
though.
be
I know that for a
bought.
fact. I'm gonna sound like a fucked up chipmunk.
So tired of being strong. Someone come keep me soft. I gave you too much credit. Too much credit. And your shit so inauthentic. But I hope you see the light someday. I was always in your corner. I know all your niggas want you. I did everything correct. From the love down to the sex. Look at the effort you giving me. Look at the effort you giving. It's been 40 days since you've heard from me. Since you've heard from me. It's been 40 nights since I've been asleep. 40 things going through my mind. Things, babe. I've heard 40 lies 40 different times. 40 days since I've touched the phone. 40 nights since I've cried alone. I've got 40 things going through my mind. Ain't no hope in love. Tried it 40 times, but it ain't forever. But it ain't forever. Can't name one bitch that'll do you better.
Ain't name one bitch. It's some real shit. Man, y'all better watch it when y'all got it. Cherish it. Shit. Shout out to Tink.
New DraftKings casino player.